Hello, my name is Colby Sharp, 5th grade teacher in Michigan. Welcome to my channel where we try to help kids fall in love with reading. These are the books that my 5th graders are currently reading. I sent them to lunch and asked them to leave their book on the desk because they're going to be reading right when they get back. And this is what they're currently reading here the week after Thanksgiving. So I'm just going to quickly kind of run through these and share with you some of the different things that they're reading, and maybe you can get some ideas for some awesome books to add to your classroom or school library and get your kids excited about reading. Let me know down in the comments below. Be sure to let me know what books are popular in your class right now, because we're always looking for great new books. And one series that is always loved in my class is Hilo. This is book 3. Kids love this one. This is one of those series where you have to read them in order. It's about a boy who crashes to Earth. It's phenomenal. It's awesome. It's funny. The characters are just amazing. Gina gets like her own book later in the series, and she is a phenomenal character. You're going to love it. You know, kids love those full color graphic novels, so Hilo is a winner. Always. Judd Winnick is the author there. A bunch of my kids are doing a book club down in the school library, and the book that they're reading is Gordon Corman's Restart. And so one of my students is reading that. She's trying to get caught up with her reading for her book club meeting, which is coming up very soon. If you haven't read this, J.C. Ambrose, kind of like the school bully, jock, all the stereotypical things that kind of fall in with that. And then he falls, hits his head, and doesn't remember who he is. He kind of gets this chance to restart. It's a phenomenal book. Oh, the Origami Yoda series, Princess Label Maker to the rescue. Ever since we finished reading aloud The Strange Case of Origami Yoda, this has just been one of the most popular, if not the most popular series in my classroom. Tom Engelberger is a magician when it comes to middle grade readers, and this series is so stinking good. So stinking good. I love it so much. This is like a YouTuber, I think. The kids were telling me, and this is a book that they really like. I don't know, I think I got it at like the Scholastic Book Fair maybe, but one of my kids actually checked out all of the books in the series from our school library today when we went this morning, so it's popular. I haven't read it, but the kids seem to dig it. Next up is Cranky Chicken. It's this new graphic novel that is becoming really popular. I was going to read it over Thanksgiving break, and I was telling the kids about it, and then they took it and decided to read it instead, and now it's bouncing around the classroom. Fortnite, 3 books in 1. Fortnite still got it. Still got the kids mystified. So, you know, maybe it'll help them read too. So we'll take it. We'll take it. We'll take it. Next up, The Wild Robot Escapes. This kid loved The Wild Robot, and he was telling me yesterday he thinks this book is even better. Even better. So pretty impressive. He is also, today only, taking a small break from this to read the new Cat Kid Comic Club book that just came out. And the reason that I let him read it first is because he's the one who remembered that it came out. And when I walked in this morning, he's like, did the new Cat Kid come? Did the new Cat Kid come? I'm like, yes, it did. It's in my bag. He's like, who gets to read it? And I'm like, you remembered, you get to read it. So I said, but you have to read it in school and finish it, hopefully during the day, because I'm reading it at home with my 7 and 4-year-olds. So I got to be able to take it home tonight at the end of the day. Then I'll bring it back for whoever wants to read it tomorrow. Lori Halls Anderson's Chains. National Book Award finalist. Scott Odell, Historical Fiction Book Award. I actually was missing this book, and a kid really wanted to read it. I had the other 2 books in the series. So I checked this out under my account from our local public library until I can get a new copy into my classroom. So I've got to use all our resources. Next up, Glitch, graphic novel, very popular. It comes from our, what's it called? It comes from our school library. Comes from our school library. I was distracted, sorry. Comes from our school library. And the kids really like it. Newest Wimpy Kid book. One of the girls in my class, she sits over there by the graphic novels, and she said, I was just reading yesterday, Mr. Sharp, and I looked up and there it was. Big Shot. She rushed over and got it, and it makes me so happy because I read it, loved it, and it's so fun to see them reading and loving it. Was that fun? Like when you're just like notice the book you've been dying to read. It's like actually there. It's actually in the library. So exciting. Catherine Applegate's Willow Dean. We know her from her Newbery Medal winning book, The One and Only Ivan and Wish Tree and Crenshaw. So many beloved books. And her latest is so good. Willow Dean. If you haven't read it, add it to your to-read list. It is an amazing book. It is a love letter to children and to planet Earth. And it's just a magical page turner. Willow Dean. So good. LeBron James, We Are Family. This kid is digging it, I think. Yeah, I don't know how far in it is. Page 25. So LeBron James with Andrea Williams wrote this book, We Are Family. You can see the picture on the back. So LeBron James done a lot of amazing things in his community of Akron. We talk about LeBron a little bit, just his love for his community, even though sometimes Akron doesn't always get like the best rap. We kind of feel the same way with Parma. Like we're often judged maybe a little unfairly. So we tend to, I really want to help them to be proud of where they're from and what that's all about. So I love that a kid's reading this. This is the kid who checked out all 3 of the books in this series. I think there's 3. That's how many checked out. And one of my kids saw this in our library. There's this beautiful Christmas book display, and she's checked out a bunch of Christmas picture books today. And how fun is that? Like, how fun is it to be 10, be chilling with your friends, reading Christmas picture books? The finer things in life. All right, you probably have seen, if not, I Survive series now as graphic novels. This is the 3rd one. I think it's the 3rd one. I think there's 3 out. This kid was like, we need to look up Mr. Sharp and figure out what the next one is. I got it now. So that's on the list of things to do this afternoon. What is the next I Survived graphic novel adaptation? Let's go. Pax Journey Home. Friends, the read aloud just matters. We read Pax to start the year. This is the 3rd or 4th kid that is making their way through Pax Journey Home. And Pax is such a wonderful book. But honestly, the last few years, I haven't been able to convince any kids to read it. But through me reading it aloud, it has led to so many kids continuing to love this story and these characters. It makes my heart so happy. Ben Franklin in My Bathroom by Candace Fleming. I feel like this series should be more popular. I don't know, maybe it's super popular, but I just feel like more people should be talking about it. I love it. Ben Franklin goes from the past to the present in this amazing book from Candace Fleming. And then when they do like the flashbacks, that part of the book is told in comic format. It's just brilliance. It's just brilliance. And no one gets like people from the past like Candace Fleming. She just does her work, puts in the time, and creates something awesome. So I did the first chapter Friday with this the week before Thanksgiving and read the first chapter to the kids and kind of talk a little bit about it. And then I love that a kid is not reading it. It makes me happy. I Survived. And Wimpy Kid still rocking. It's just strong series. They're strong and continue to be New York Times best-selling series for a reason. They're just unputdownable. Kids can't get enough. The 14th Goldfish. This book is really popular this year, which makes me really happy because I love this book. I think it's phenomenal. I think it's near middle grade perfection. You need to meet Melvin, the grandfather in this book. If you haven't read this, you need to. You're going to love it so much, and then you're going to read the 3rd mushroom afterwards. Just Jennifer Holm, middle grade masterpiece. Jedi Academy. The one kid in my class this year is like all about it. He's like all about it. All about it. I love that. Don't you love when like one kid just like, I don't care what anyone else is reading. Jedi Academy is my jam. Running out of space here. I only have 3 more books to talk about. Sit up a little taller. I don't do scary books, but this Mary Downing Han is always popular with the kids who are into that. I don't read them. I just don't. The kids do, so we have them. Next up, Alone, one of my favorite books from 2021. If you haven't read this middle grade novel in verse, it's very Hatchet-y in terms of like a wild survival story that kids can't stop reading and want to tell everyone about. And kids put themselves in their minds in that situation, and it just blows their brains out. It's so good. Alone, Megan Freeman. So good. And we had Willowdene, and we have the one and only Bob, this master storyteller again, Catherine Applegate, the one and only Ivan, the one and only Bob. I'm just so happy that kids have books like this to read. So these are the books that my 5th graders are reading. I would love to know, once again, let me know down in the comments the books that your kids are reading. Hope you're doing awesome. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Colby Sharp. I hope you have an awesome-tastic day.